recently added. For example, we'll pick Tulsa Queen first, and then the last thing on my mind, and then City of New Orleans out in sort of reverse order, and reverse alphabetical order. That's the way they show up. So when you're playing you're playing a set list in a parade or at a, here or at the other senior center, you pull this stuff up, pull the first song up, and all you have to do is tap the screen, and it changes to the next song in line, which is a big help when you're playing several songs in a row.
Now, was that on set list?
Set list, yeah.
Okay, I wondered about that.
Yeah, and it just rolls you through the music, and you go backwards by tapping the top left and forward by tapping the bottom right.
Well, that'd be a nice feature for pieces of music that take up more than one page where you have to swipe.
Yeah. Well, no, if you have 2 pages and there's still just a tab. Still a tab.
Well, is that?
Yeah. I thought it was a slide. But that's pretty much what we've been using Gigbook to do. As I said, you can create genres if you want to. If you want to make folk genres, you create them just like you do binders and set lists. If you want to put all your folk music in a genre, you can do that. Now, another feature that they have here that we don't use very much is, let's see here, is golly, what in the world is that? Yeah, that's
Is that the metronome?
metronome, yeah. That's the
I didn't
metronome.
know what it looked like.
For some reason, it's not picking up. Not picking up the sound, but it does make the sound. But yeah, there are a lot more things that you can do with more in-depth Gigbook usage. But for what I do and what most of us do here in MECA, I think I've covered. I just I'm not interested in attaching audio to my PDF files, but certainly I could do that. We could attach the audio from that CD that you just had. That's something we could do. But any more questions? Any questions?
I have a couple comments.
Yeah.
One, I'm using this a little bit different. Same methodology, but one, a PDF file can be a whole book. So
Yes.
it doesn't have to just be a single page. For our karaoke, for example, it may be 12 or 20 pages of songs.
Yes.
So you can import the booklet in there. And the difference is there, though, you have to turn the pages by swiping. So you swipe across the screen, you have page 2, page 3. I don't remember on this one, but some of them that use that methodology, down at the bottom will have the string of pages, and you can, like you just had with the PowerPoint there.
Yeah.
You press on page 20 if you can tell what is 20. So that's number one. So it does a lot of different things. And the other thing that Jack and I have tried, and I'm not sure why neither one of us use it, but a lot of people seem to be, and it's a good market out there in the world, is foot pedals. you can buy these foot pedals that will change, give a carriage return to your thing, and it will change pages for you or whatever. And you can have, most of the foot pedals have a right and a left, so there are certain things that you can go backward and forward. So if you're a musician on stage, the pedals are nice. I have two different kinds. One of them works with batteries and one of them works with, I think, rechargeable batteries. So I think it's just a matter of having a need and a priority and then deciding which you like. So far I have two of them and I don't use them. Jack has one. He doesn't use it.
But I don't use it.
But they Bluetooth to the iPad, so all you have to do is turn it on. The problem is, earlier in the game of Bluetooth, I think we're up to version 8 on Bluetooth now, the earlier Bluetooth didn't pair very well. And there still are some programs like that, just like the GPS, the earlier versions of GPS might not lock in. So it becomes kind of a pain in the neck if it takes a long time to pair it. But they are nice. I've used them on occasion, so. Jack, you got any?
Yeah, if you need both hands a lot to play your instruments, they're real handy.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem just strumming the guitar and then tapping my screen when I have to change pages.
And from the standpoint of a group, any size group, you need a music library. And it's really a nice system to keep
Organized.
all the musicians
Yeah.
together, yeah.
Yeah,
There are other ones out there. One sells mostly to churches. It's not Gigbooks, but it's kind of like it. But what they do, and you can pair the, unite is the word, I guess, the audio with the lyrics. So in the churches, they'll put up
yeah.
two screens and the lyrics will be there and it will match the music. And
Yeah,
then
it
the
just depends
musicians
on-
can pass them back and forth.
Yeah, it depends
Somehow, the iPads can connect together.
Yeah, it just depends on how deep you want to get into it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's pretty basic and for what I do. I don't perform on any stage other than with Mecca. And the only problems that we've had with the iPads are when we take them out in a parade. Sometimes the sunshine is a little bit too bright for them, or take them outside anywhere. And if we take paper, then we have the blowing problem, the wind problem with the paper, so you just sort of have to figure out what you're going to use.
Yeah.
Customize it for your own personal use.
And Joel's using an old iPad there, and I have two iPad 2s that are still very powerful and doing a good job for me.
Yeah, this is the second generation here, and it doesn't have a lot of it doesn't
Yeah.
have the,
And a lot of the new apps are still working with the iPad 2.
Yeah.
The new apps that I've got for the drones, for visual reality,
yeah.
I put them on my iPad 2s, and they're still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the thing about apps, just like Gigbook, is it's been around a while. I don't know how long, but I know we've been using it for about 5 years. And I have contacted the programmers and the people that owned it in the past and gotten answers from them, but now there's just no link to no contact links to them. So I think they're not supporting it anymore, and they've gone on to bigger and better things. But as long as it works pretty well, I'll stick with it. If it really starts giving us a problem, I think I'll go to Fourscore, F-O-R-S-C-O-R-E, which is a very similar app. Works pretty much the same. And these are apps, I think I paid $5 for Gigbook when I first got it, and they're probably $10 now. But the thing about apps is there's no guarantee that they're going to be supported, whatever app it is, unless it comes from Apple or Microsoft, Google, and then they'll be supported. But all these independent apps can just shut it off anytime.
Second.
You know how to make a set list now, don't you?
Well, actually, that's what my question was. Can you make one and send it to us?
Yeah, you can. It
Yeah,
says
the
in
ans-
the instructions that you can.
Oh, there are instructions there?
Yeah, when you boot up, at the top of the page, there are 3 symbols. And one of them is an eye, a small eye, maybe in a circle. But you know, there's the gear there,
Yeah.
and there's edit, but it's this little eye, and it's got a lot of the tech stuff will open on it.
Okay, and it'll say share somewhere that you could,
Well, let me open it
It's
up.
mentioned in, further down in there, I just saw it.
because again, if one person does it, there's no reason why everybody's got to repeat it.
Okay, here.
Like for the Christmas parade, if one can make a set list, then
Sure.
Okay, there's,
Yeah, now select the first subject in blue.
well, these are the instructions on using Gigbook.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying start there. Okay.
And slide from bottom to top.
Okay.
And if you go down in there.
Okay.
I think it was in not that page, further down.
Okay,
It's
it's
in the
cell.
symbols right there.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah.
number 3. What does number 3 say?
Yes, that's the symbol to send something. Okay, I'll have to go back to number 3. It says action, add details to a score, like composer, genre, duration, link, or audio tag from Apple Music app. Upload a score or an entire binder or set list to Dropbox, or email them to another bandmate. Okay, so maybe you can email binders. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That, you know, you can go back to when you're in the. When you go back into a song. There's that symbol on the left again.
Yeah.
It's- I call it a send, but they call it an action. And that way you can email the score, or you can send it to Dropbox through there.
And
There's
what-
a lot of ways to notate your music too.
what was that under?
It's,
How did you get there?
You go to a song
Oh,
and
any song?
upper left, any song, upper left,
Okay,
it's,
I see it, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this is, we've actually sent,
Yeah, we've done that.
we've done that while we were in this room.
Yeah.
Just emailed, somebody didn't have a song and we just emailed it to them in this room. That way they can play along.
Now, that's the way that I have in the past got mine in, is I just email it to myself.
Yeah.
And then it comes up as a attachment. And when you click on the attachment, like this, there's a little something icon up there, and it'll say, where do you want to put it? And the Gigbooks will come up, and you click on Gigbooks and puts it in Gigbooks.
So you're using your iPad for email?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just email it to myself from the computer, and then it's an email on my iPad.
It would be a handy way to do it.
Yeah. It's relatively easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like iTunes because I'm used, it helps me organize all of my Apple stuff, my phone and my iPod, my iPad, and it's easy to use for me. But,
My only problem with iTunes was they kept changing it on me.
I found it very hard to work with.
Yeah, I did too, but I got the first
But then
time for,
I I was in Microsoft
Yeah.
format.
Well, they did make a couple of changes in iTunes a couple of years ago where they, you know, maybe at the time you were first getting involved with it, where they really modified the headers on the sheets and stuff like that. That's been,
Well, you helped me, and if you hadn't done it step by step, I don't think I ever would have been able to have done it.
yeah, well, let's see. I don't think this is going to show me what I want to see. When you connect a device, such as the iPod or the iPad, to your computer. I have iTunes on my computer. I just plug my iPad in the back of my computer and call up iTunes, and my iPad shows up in iTunes. And I click on my iPad, and it tells me everything that's in my iPad.
Well, that's a lot simpler than the way it was when we started out.
Yeah, and then, you know, for example, with the iPad,